Okay, what's up, everyone? This is Morey Croson with the Performance Lab of California. We're going to do another breakdown here today. Today it's going to be of Trayvon Bromell. We got a person that wanted to get more information on the numbers behind Trayvon Bromell. How does he create as much force as he does? How fast is he? Things like that. So that's what I did here in this race. Trayvon ran in 9.84. Justin Gatlin actually ran in 9.80. He actually beat him. We can see that Trayvon Bromell is right here and Justin Gatlin is right here. But since this is going to be on Trayvon Bromell, it's going to be more on that, and since it takes a lot to do all these numbers, I only did Trayvon Bromell. But he ended up running a 9.84 in the 100-meter dash. So what that kind of equated to, so first of all, Trayvon Bromell, he is 5'8", 154 pounds, 68 inches. It's always easier to convert it into inches. And he took 46 and a half steps in the entirety of the race, which is about 2.5 meters per step in order to finish 100 meters. And his height is 84, his average step, or meters per step, was 84.65, which is 124% of his body height per step. So again, that's, his height 68 inches and his average step was 84, a little bit over 84 inches, 124% of his body height for each one of his steps, which is pretty good. I also did a thing where at the very beginning it took him 9 steps to go 13 meters. And then when he got to the end, when he was at his top speed, it took him 8.5 steps really to go 19 meters. So just give an understanding of, what's the difference between at the beginning and at the end. You take a lot more steps in those first 13 meters than you do in those last 19, 20 meters. Going more into it, Trayvon Bromell was going at an average speed of 22.73 miles per hour. And his top speed ended up being 26.17 miles per hour. And when he was at his top speed, each one of his steps was 93.3 inches, and he was taking 2.3 meters per step. That 93.3 inches is 137% of his body weight, which is, again, body height. 137% of his body height, which is really a lot. That's a big stride. That's one of the things that stands out when you watch Trayvon Bromell, is he has an excellent ability to create really a very, very long stride. So then from there, one of the things I think is really interesting is to go more into how much force he's able to produce. So essentially, we had to do it all linear, so we don't really get to go into how much force he's producing from a just straight into the ground, but more in a linear level, how much force he's producing, which is 817.83 newtons per second is how much force he's producing. And then I broke that down into steps, which is 163.6 newtons per step, that would be, which equates to 360 pounds per step. And again, he's 154 pounds, so that's 234% of his body weight in each one of his steps is how much force he's producing as he's running. So it's very, very interesting to go down into the numbers and really understand, how these guys are able to create the force and, achieve the things that they're able to achieve. They're really creating a lot of force in each one of their steps, and they're able to stride out for a very, very long period of time. So, that's two things that you have to be able to do, is you have to be able to maintain length in your steps while also being able to maintain that force production. Okay, that's going to be two really important things if you're going to really try to maximize your sprint velocity overall. So one of the things that then I got into was the 40-yard dash. Just because I know there's a lot of guys that are football players that watch this stuff as well. And what I did is I went into what it's going to take you to run like a 4.5 40. And what that is actually it's only 18.1 miles per hour, average 18.1 miles per hour, which again, Trayvon Bromell was running an average of 22.73. Again, this is over a longer period of time, and it's really hard to get to that fast acceleration in the 40, but it's definitely possible to run that 4.5. I mean, it's something that's definitely achievable, and obviously Trayvon would probably run sub 4.5. And then, which that means that you only need to be taking, or you need to be going 26.6 feet per second. Best was to convert it into feet. Again, so there'd be 30 feet per second would be 10 yards per second. So it's a little bit under 10 feet per second is what you need to do to run a 4.5, which a 4.5 is really a fast person. So, and also gives you an understanding of how fast Trayvon Bromell was. And again, his top speed was 26.17. Also looked into Usain Bolt. His top speed is 27.8 miles per hour. Again, I'm going all miles per hour here. So, again, gives you a good understanding of really how fast these guys are. Obviously Usain Bolt's probably got the fastest time ever recorded, 27.8, and Trayvon Bromell is really not very far behind him. So, as always, thanks for watching these videos. I mean, I think one of the things that, again, stands out when watching Trayvon Bromell is his ability to create such large amounts of length in each one of his steps, 137 percent of his body weight percent of his body height at top speed, really amazing. And then also the large amount of force he's able to produce per step, 360 pounds per step. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I mean, we love doing these speed breakdowns for people, so if you send that in. I'm currently working on developing a program for sprinters to make it so you can subscribe and get that program. Probably make it so it's an 8 to 12 week program. If you can, maybe send out shoot me a comment, see what you would prefer there in terms of how long of a program that you would like. And we'd probably try to make it so it's a pretty reasonably priced. But yeah, in the meantime, I mean, we have the membership, we have the breakdown. We're trying to provide as much value as we can for all you athletes out there that are trying to accomplish their goals. So, as always, thanks for watching these videos. We really appreciate it, and we will see you soon.